Welcome to Tattersalls, which is one of the biggest auction houses in the world. Over the last few weeks, they've been selling horses here as part of their October yearling sales, which 2 years ago produced the classic winners Knight of Thunder and also Australia, who were sent through this very sale. For many owners who don't perhaps breed their own horses, the dream of owning a championship racehorse starts right here. Founded in 1766 by Richard Tattersalls, the sales company which still bears his name is the oldest in the world and the largest in Europe. 10,000 horses each year go under the hammer across its 15 sales, which include the annual ERA Horses in Training sale in Dubai.
We have sales starting sort of early October and running almost solidly through to the first week of December. So it's a busy time for us, but also a busy time for everybody involved in the European bloodstock industry.
Why should they come here? What's the advantage of it rather than buying one privately?
I think the key to buying at Tattersalls or at public auction, full stop, is that all the horses are collected in one place at one time, and that just makes it so much easier for the buyers. So, in the course of these 2 weeks, we'll have had the thick end of 2,000 yearlings selling, and that, for yearling buyers, that's fantastic. If they were doing it privately, we'd be going from farm to farm, seeing one or two here, one or two there, take forever. And the other key is that as a sales company, we have conditions of sale which help balance the sort of requirements of the vendor and the purchaser to make sure it's a good deal for everyone. So it's just convenience and the security and the sort of the security for the buyer.
And this particular sale, this yearling sale, is one of the best in Europe, if not the best, and it's been advertised very well this year because, of course, Knight of Thunder and Australia both came through this sale.
Yeah, I mean, the key to the October yearling sale at Tattersalls is the success of the racehorses on the race courses around the world. So yearlings from Book 1, Book 2, Book 3, they consistently, year after year, win races at the highest level, not just in Britain, Ireland and France, but throughout the world. And this year's been spectacular. As you say, Side Manana's Knight of Thunder won the 2,000 guineas. He was bought at Book 1 for 32,000 guineas. Then Australia won the Derby. He came from the same sale, purchased for 525,000 guineas. Then Kingston Hill won the St Leger. So it was the Colts Triple Crown, all from the October yearling sale, and Kingston Hill cost 70,000 guineas. So there's a great variation in the prices as well, but the key is the quality.
And last week was Book 1. Just to explain sort of how it works, because that's the sort of higher end horses, if you like, the more prestigious ones. I imagine it's quite sort of difficult to get your horse accepted into that part, is it?
Yeah, I mean, that's the theory behind it. Book 1 is the cream of the European yearling crop, so the best that Britain, Ireland and the whole of Europe has to offer. Having said that, as we said, Knight of Thunder was purchased for 32,000 guineas, so it's not all mega prices, but again, quality is what separates Book 1.
Over the years, Godolphin, largely through His Highness Sheikh Mohammed's bloodstock advisor John Ferguson, have picked up several future stars at the October sale. And Jimmy was pleased to note a strong Dubai presence again, with a number of leading owners in attendance.
The Maktoum family, as we know, they're massive supporters of European racing, British racing in particular. Newmarket is the hub of their worldwide operation, and they've been magnificent supporters of Tattersalls over the years, and they've brought many champions here. So I am very confident that some of the horses that the Maktoum family have bought in Book 1 and Book 2 this week will go on to perform at the highest level.
Although signing the docket for no fewer than 14 lots during Book 2, we managed to pin down John Ferguson to find out more about his buying strategy. It has yielded such recent successes as Group 1 Middle Park Stakes winner Charming Thought, purchased by John at this very sale 12 months before.
Sheikh Mohammed has been at sales for many years, and he felt they were a very, very good crop. And he obviously identified a few stars, which we bought. But I think what was also particularly pleasing for everybody here was that the Crown Prince, Sheikh Hamdan bin Mohammed, was here as well. And he was obviously spent time looking at the yearlings, and he also bought a few horses as well. So it's great not only to see Sheikh Mohammed here, because everybody's inspired by him, but to see the Crown Prince here as well, actively buying horses, was just so exciting for the future as much as anything else.
And when does the process start for you? Because you must spend a lot of time looking at horses, looking through catalogues. It must take absolutely ages.
Yeah, well, we have a team. I have Dick O'Gorman, who's helped me for over 20 years now. And he will go around the farms in England and Ireland really from as soon as these sales finish, December sales finish at the beginning of the year, he'll start looking at yearlings for the following year. So we've probably seen the main yearlings 3 or 4 times before they even get to the sale. And then, of course, you then sit down, you look at the catalogues, and you look at, how well the mare has done, how good the stallion is, the family. And then you come to a conclusion as to A, whether you think the horse has a great chance of being a racehorse, and B, how much he's going to cost. And then you go in there, you put a value on them, and away you go. But obviously, when Sheikh Mohammed is here, he's got such a knowledge of the business that he's analysing them here. He has the information from the previous trips. He knows the pedigrees inside out. And so he just tells us what to do and we get on and do it.
You're also pretty busy over at Keeneland a few weeks ago. Which sort of sale have you had the most success at?
Well, when we first started, sort of 20 years ago, America was the place where you had to go to buy bloodstock. But I think largely thanks to the Maktoum family and obviously Prince Khalid Abdullah as well, a lot of the very, very best stallions have ended up standing in England and Ireland. And I think, therefore, that a lot of the best bloodstock is now in England or Ireland. We still go to America, and we bought horses in Saratoga, and we bought horses at Keeneland, and there were some lovely horses there. But really now, the real quality bloodstock does seem to be here in England for what we're looking for, which is primarily horses to run on the grass. And obviously, we're also looking for horses to run in Meydan on the sand, the new surface in Meydan.
We're right at the heart of the Tattersalls sales complex here, and behind me is the pre-sale ring, and that is where the potential buyers get a last look at the horses as they parade around before going into the sales ring on the left. And it's a real who's who of racing and breeding here. Just about everybody is here. Some of the top trainers in the country, top sellers and top buyers as well. There's a real buzz and a real atmosphere here, but apart from that, everybody seems very relaxed and generally just happy to be here. And then of course it all gets a bit more tense once the horses go through those doors and into the sales ring, and that is where the big money starts flying around. For vendors, this is a make or break time.
200,000 last call, all done, she is sold at 200.
To find out more about the process from a seller's point of view, we caught up with Joseph Burke, who had already successfully sold his See the Stars filly for 200,000 guineas in Book 1. Today, he was parting company with a strapping Bahamian bounty colt. After behaving impeccably in the ring, the yearling sold for 70,000 guineas and will go into training with David Simcock. Pleased with what he made?
Yes, very pleased. He's first foal and he made 70,000. The stud fee was 9, I think, and it's good. It's good to get one away and get it to a trainer. And no, it was a very good result. I was delighted. He made more than I expected.
And last week you sold a filly who is by See the Stars out of a half-sister to Kingman, so obviously attracted plenty of headlines. I think 200,000 was what she made. Again, were you pleased with that?
Yeah, pleased with that. She was bought by John Ferguson, so hopefully she's a nice filly, and hopefully she actually looks, even though she's by See the Stars, she looks like maybe a 2-year-old type. She's not the biggest, so hopefully if she gets out and onto the track, it's good. They're both first foals that we sold, so it's important for the mares to get their career started as well. So the sales is one part of it, but I'd like to think they'll both be successful racehorses too, and that's really what matters, because further down the line, when you're coming here in 3 and 4 years' time, that's what you need. You need to have sold a racehorse that's proven successful.
And how far out does the process start? Because obviously you pick your stallion, you have a lovely bouncing foal. Do you say then, right, we need to enter this one in Tattersalls? How does it all work?
Oh no, it's usually around April or May time that you choose your sale and you nominate for sale, and then the people from Tattersalls and their representatives come to view it, and they decide, yes, if they'll accept it and which book they'll accept it. So obviously Book 1 are the premium lots. Book 2 is a very, very good sale now, and it's tough to get into. You need a good horse even just to get into Book 2 these days. And Book 3 then is towards the end of the week. It's a slightly lesser horse that would get into that. And then Book 4 tags on to the horse and training sale in a couple of weeks, and that's I suppose the lowest of the 4.
And then when you get here, how far in advance of the sale does the horse arrive?
Yeah, we arrive in a good week beforehand because we think it's important to give them a day to settle in. If you just arrive this morning and people are looking at your horse, he's not settled in, and they won't show themselves well. And so Oghill do a very, very good job. And this fellow arrived last Thursday morning at 5 a.m. from Ireland, so he travelled the previous night. He had the whole day to settle in and relax, and then the following day you're showing them and then they're fine, they're nice and relaxed.
And obviously since these horses are born, you've sort of seen them every day. It must be quite emotional, isn't it, having to part with them?
It is, but if you think about it too much, you won't sell. So, and you'll probably value your horses too highly. But ultimately, you decide what you're in it for. Are you into race or are you into breed? And if you're into breed, then you come here and you might have an idea what you'd like to get in your head, but basically, you ultimately have to take what you get and hope that they go to good trainers and help the mares in the long run. So it is emotional. I got particularly attached to the filly last week, and she had a great attitude, and it was just it was difficult, but you have to decide. That's for another man to take her on and race her from there. And we're in the breeding game, and that's what you do. If you don't sell, you're not making money. If you're not making money, you're not in business. So that's the way we look at it.
With more than 700 lots catalogued for sale across the 3 days, there is little rest for the busy veterinary teams, who are there to ensure that their clients' pricey purchases have the very best chance of making it as racehorses. It's an exhaustive process.
In layman's language, it's like going into a car showroom and looking at either brand new cars or used cars. And in this instance, we're looking at young horses who haven't been proven on the track. So we've got to work out how the engine, the wheel, suspension, in general looks all go into one. So a vet's job is to obviously act on behalf of their client or potential owner or agent looking to buy that individual. Now they'll then request you to do that job, and we will then look at different parameters and then give them a report on x-rays. An endoscopic evaluation looks at how they breathe and whether or not they can breathe properly, and general confirmation, and sort of try and bring all those different pieces of the jigsaw together into one, and hopefully give them an idea of, one, whether or not that horse is suitable for racing, number one, and two, a sort of rough idea of longevity, whether or not they're going to get any problems or issues along the way, or whether or not they're a clean, brand new car and ready to go.
For owners needing expert advice, a bloodstock advisor is the obvious person to turn to, and there are few better than Ross Doyle, whose Group 1 winning purchases over the years include Olympic Glory, Tormore, Paco Boy and Camford Cliffs. Working primarily with trainer Richard Hannon, Ross was a regular sight in the ring, eventually signing for 11 lots in Book 2. I imagine this is a pretty important sale for you, is it?
Oh, very much so. Bread and butter sale for us. We buy a lot of horses here and have done for many years, and we've been looking to get some very nice race horses out of the sale, but there's some very nice horses. We bought plenty and we're very happy what we've bought so far.
And how far in advance does your sort of homework start? Because it must take ages to go all the way through the catalogues.
Yeah, for Book 2 in particular, the second sale here, there's 275 horses a day to look at, and we look at every single horse in the sale with our team. There was 6 of us in total this week looking at horses, and we came 4 days before the sale started, and we started looking at the individuals, narrowing them down on their physical looks, and then we get down to a short list, and myself and my father Peter go round and we knock that list down to a real defined short list to give to our clients.
And what are you looking for? Obviously you make sort of half of the decision before you get here based on pedigree, and then you come here, have a look at them. What might sort of put you off a horse? Let's go that way around.
We're very hard on confirmation, which is how the horse walks towards you in front, whether his knees are a good shape or in a good alignment. And obviously when the horse comes out of the box, his attitude, and a very nice balanced, good walking horse we like. It's quite mature looking physically.
After 3 days, 660 lots changed hands for more than 42 million guineas, a new sales record. Classic winners of 2016? Possibly. But, like the owners who have invested in the dream, we'll just have to wait and see.